Morning children, welcome back to economics class. In the last class we just discussed about what are the corrective measures to correct any disequilibrium with respect to balance of payment. Now let us learn about what is exchange rate. Exchange, the meaning of foreign exchange, forex. Okay, many a times we might have come across this word forex in the signboards outside. Okay, and even the banks, we have a separate counter for forex. Forex means foreign exchange. Okay, the amount of money that an Indian currency can will be able to buy that much equivalent amount of foreign currency. Forex refers to foreign currencies. The mechanism through which the payments are made between the two countries who have commercial transactions, you call that system as forex. And the definition for forex. Forex is a system or process of converting one national currency into another or of transferring money from one country to another. So, forex is what? It is a system. What do? One country's currency is transferred equivalent to other country's currency. This process of money transfer, you call it as foreign exchange or forex. How are we going to do the transfer? Okay, the transactions in the exchange market, it is carried out using the exchange rates. Okay, now we need to understand what are exchange rates. Exchange rates could be defined as the price paid in home currency. What is our home currency? Rupees. Okay, for 1 unit of foreign currency. Okay, let us take US dollars. To buy 1 US dollar, how much Indian currency should I spend? Okay, what is the equivalent value of the number of Indian currency, equivalent value of Indian currency to procure or to get 1 unit of USD. Okay, so in other words, 1 unit of foreign money, that is 1 US dollar, okay, is equal to how many Indian domestic currency, or else how much US dollars, okay, is equal to 1 unit of rupee. In either way, it is correct only. That is how much rupees I should spend to buy 1 US dollar, or how much US dollars should be spent to get 1 rupee. Both means the same only. Now, for instance, 1 US dollar, it approximately it is rupees 70. That means we should spend 70 rupees to get 1 US dollar. Otherwise, okay, for US dollars, okay, to get 1 rupee, you need to spend 1.42 US dollars. 42 cents. Cents means like paise we say, no, it is called as cents. The lower denomination of US dollar, you call it as cents. So they have to spend 1.42 US dollars to get what 1 rupee. Now let just look into the exchange rate. In 1947, okay, the exchange rate was 1 USD was equal to 1 rupee, which means a person who is living in America and a person who is living in India enjoy the same status, living status. Okay, the amount of money spent by what the amount of money that is earned by a person in US, okay, will be the same as the amount which earned by a person living in India. Both of them will be enjoying the same standard of living because their purchasing power parity is also same. Okay, which means with 1 rupee, if I am able to get something here, the same thing I'll be able to get the same commodity there with 1 US dollar. But in 2018, okay, it has the exchange rate has gone to, we need to pay 70 rupees to get 1 US dollar. Exchange rate. What is exchange rate? The rate at which one country's currency can be traded for another country's currency. Just highlight it and keep. Okay. The definition of equilibrium exchange rate. The equilibrium exchange rate is that rate over a period of time keeps the balance of payment in equilibrium. That is, the demand conditions and supply conditions, okay, of the demand for forex and the supply of forex, okay, meet at an equilibrium. That you call it as equilibrium exchange rate. Normally, exchange rate, how is it determined? Based on the demand for foreign exchange and demand supply of foreign exchange. Like how the price is being determined. How price is being determined based on the demand and supply conditions only. Price keeps on changing. Like that, based on the demand for foreign currency and based on the supply of foreign currency, the exchange rate is being fixed. So, the equilibrium exchange rate means where the point of intersection, where the supply of foreign exchange is equal to the demand for foreign exchange. At that particular point, equilibrium is existing. Okay, this was defined by Ragnar-Fisk. Now we have a small illustration to understand the determination of exchange rate, equilibrium of exchange rate. So this, let me read the first paragraph. The equilibrium rate of exchange is determined in foreign exchange market in accordance with the general theory of value. So it's general theory. I remember last year in 11th standard we learned the general theory of distribution, how price is being fixed, okay, how wages are being fixed, how the interest is being fixed, and how the profit is being fixed. We learnt about at the point of intersection of the demand for and the supply of capital, interest is fixed. At the point of intersection of the demand for labor and supply of labor, the wages are fixed. Likewise, okay, this is the equilibrium rate of exchange for foreign currency is also decided according to this general theory of value, that is based on the market forces, that is the interaction of the forces, that is the demand and supply of foreign exchange. The rate of exchange is being determined. Thus, just a second children, that is the rate of exchange is determined where at the point where the demand for foreign exchange is equal to the supply of foreign exchange. You could just go through this diagram. In the diagram, in the y-axis, the exchange rate is being given. That is, what is the dollar value of rupee, or what is the external value of rupee in terms of dollar. That is, what is our value of currency not within the country, outside the country. That is taken in the y-axis, and in the x-axis, the quantity, that is of foreign exchange, that is the demand for foreign exchange, the supply of foreign exchange is taken in the x-axis. Now you could see the demand curve and the supply curve. The point of intersection is at E. Okay, now at E, that is at OP2, if OP2 determines is equilibrium exchange rate of foreign exchange, okay, where the demand and the supply curve intersects. The above diagram, y-axis is the exchange rate, that is the value of rupees in terms of dollars. X-axis represents the supply and demand for foreign exchange. E is the point of equilibrium where DD intersects SS. So the exchange rate is, equilibrium exchange rate is what? P2, that's all. Okay, now this diagram you learn as how it is given in the textbook itself. Okay, suppose if there is any difference in this diagram, because this diagram is a copy of the book I have downloaded. Suppose if there is any change in this diagram and the diagram which is in there in your book, I want someone to just text me or take a pic of the diagram and send to me. Because if there is any change, if there is no change, please text me also. There is no change, ma'am. The diagram is same as 7.3. Now let us go to the types of exchange rate. Before going to that, this illustration, that is definition of equilibrium and how the rate of exchange is determined, is quite an important answer. Okay, quite easy to learn also. In the last year question paper also this question had come. Okay. Next is types of exchange rate. When we learn the types of exchange rate, broadly you can categorize the types of exchange rate as into two types. One is fixed exchange rate, other is floating exchange rate. Fixed exchange rate, first let us learn what is fixed exchange rate. See here, the country, the value of the currency of a particular countries will be fixed by the government of that country for a period of time. Okay, and the value will be fixed equivalent to the value of the gold. The value of the currencies are expressed in terms of gold. Okay, so like 1 gram of gold will be equal to this much unit of that particular home currency. Okay, so this exchange rate will be fixed for a period of time by that country, by the government of that country. Such a exchange rate, you call it as fixed exchange rate. That is, countries following fixed exchange rate, you otherwise call it a stable exchange rate or pegged exchange rate. Okay, here it keeps their currency fixed and it will be determined by the government. Just underline, it is also called a stable exchange rate or pegged exchange rate. Next is flexible exchange rate. Flexible exchange rate means, like how we saw, depending on the demand for and the supply of foreign exchanges, the exchange rate keeps on oscillating. Okay, if there is more demand for foreign exchange, the price will increase, the exchange rate will increase. In the next topic, we shall see what are the determinants of exchange rate, which determines the exchange rate to be high or low. Based on the market and conditions, if the rate of exchange varies, you call that as flexible exchange rate. Okay, or you otherwise call it as floating exchange rate. Please underline all this. All these are important from objective point of view. The next is what are the types of exchange rate, how it is being determined. Okay, when you look into that, basically exchange rates are determined by two types. One is nominal exchange rate and the other is real exchange rate. Third one is nominal effective exchange rate, real effective exchange rate. Very simple to understand. For example, if we assume that 1 US dollar is equal to 75 rupees, which means I need to pay 75 rupees to get 1 USD. Okay, now if I go with nominal exchange rate, the formula will be USD divided by rupee. That's all. That is 75 divided by 1. So this will be the bilateral nominal exchange rate. Whereas real exchange rate means you add one more component to it. That is EPF divided by P. Very simple, children. E refers to nominal exchange rate, that is 75 divided by 1. PF refers to price that is prevailing abroad in any country, and P refers to the price that is prevailing in India, in the domestic country. Now a small example is given here. Suppose if a pen costs rupees 50 in India and it costs 5 USD in US. That is the cost of to buy one pen, we have to pay 50 rupees in India. To get the same pen in USA, they have to pay 5 US dollars. Okay, now the exchange rate is 75 rupees is equal to 1 US dollar. That is nominal will be 70, nominal exchange rate is 75 divided by 1. Now apply everything in this formula. How to get real exchange rate? E is nothing but 75 divided by 1. PF is price prevailing in foreign country, that is 5 USD per pen, divided by price prevailing in India. What is the price of pen in India? 50 rupees. So this will be, real exchange rate will be 75, which is the value of E, into 5, that is the value of pen in USD, divided by 50, the price of pen in India. The value you get is what? 7.5. Suppose if the real exchange rate is equal to 1. Suppose if you get a value equal to 1 means, it means that the purchasing power parity exists between two countries. It means that PPP, that is purchasing power parity, is there between two countries. Suppose if it is more than 1, it means that, okay, we are lacking in purchasing power parity. They are much ahead. Okay, suppose if it is less than 1, it means that our purchasing power parity is better than the other countries. Okay, this is how we need to assume. Now look at here, underline this. If real exchange rate is equal to 1, the currencies are at purchasing power parity. Underline this. Now when will there be purchasing power parity? That is, the value will be equal to 1, real exchange value will be equal to 1. Suppose if the price of pen in USD is 0.66, that is 66 cents. If it is that only, the real purchasing power parity will be equal to 1. That is 0.666, which is the price prevailing at US of per pen in USD, into 75. 75 is nothing but nominal exchange rate. 75 divided by 1 divided by 50. 50 is the price of pen in India. When you go with this, you get the value 1. If that is the case, it means that there is purchasing power parity between these two countries. Okay, it can be said that USD and Indian rupees are at purchasing power parity. Parity means equalization. Okay, both the countries enjoy equal purchasing power. And regarding NEER, that is nominal effective exchange rate, and real effective exchange rate, we have not discussed in this lesson. Okay. Next is, what are the determinants of exchange rates? Let us look into the factors one after the other. Differentials in inflation. Inflation and exchange rates are inversely related to each other. Just underline this. I'll tell you how it inversely relates. Suppose if there is inflation means what? Increasing of prices. Deflation is lowering of prices. Suppose if the price lowers, that is inflation is falling down, okay, deflation, what will happen? Our value of money will increase. When our value of money increases, the value of our currency is also increasing. That is what it means. Okay, when our value of currency is increasing, automatically the exchange rate will increase. Because it means that you are able to get more goods with less money. That is what it means. So, in price, there is inflation and what is that exchange value are inversely related to each other. Next is, what are the differentials in interest rates? When you look into the differentials in the interest rate, there is a high degree of relationship between interest rates, inflation and exchange rate. Now only we saw inflation and exchange rates are inversely related. Likewise, okay, higher the rate of interest, it will attract foreign capital. Okay, as a result, exchange rate will rise. When the rate of interest is high, it means that foreigners, they are getting a good price for the capital. Automatically, it will attract more of foreign exchange. When more of foreign exchange is attracted, what will happen? Money supply in India will increase. Automatically, price will increase. Okay, in fact, this is a tool for disequilibrium also, equalizing the disequilibrium also. Next is current account deficits. Current account deficits. A deficit in a current account, it means that our payments are more than our receipts. Okay, our payments are more, that means we have to pay more to other countries and we'll receive less from our exports, which means excess demand for foreign exchange will automatically lower down our exchange rates, which means when our imports are low, our exchange rate will fall down. Okay, next is public debts. If we have borrowed too much of money from other countries, as a result, what will happen? Money supply in our country will fall down. This will drive out all the foreign investors, because already when we are indebted to other countries, when we owe huge amount of loans to other countries, no one will come and invest in India. As a result of that, our exchange rate will fall down. Okay, next is terms of trade. The terms of trade also determines exchange rate. Suppose if the price of a country's exports rises than our imports, it means the terms of trade will improve. Okay, when terms of trade is improving, exchange rate also will improve. Next is having good political stability. If a country has got a good political stability, if the political situation of a country is very good, if the economic performance of the country is very good, automatically the country's currency will have a good exchange value. Next is recession. Recession is a period marked by low level of economic activities. When the money inflow of capital is less, the currency automatically depreciates. Okay, that there is decrease in the value of currencies also. Next is speculation. If a country's currency value is expected to rise, what will happen? People will automatically demand for that currency now itself. Suppose, for example, there is going to be a very big change in the Indian politics. Okay, a very good leader is going to be, there is sign that a good leader is going to rule India. Automatically, what will happen? Okay, our exchange rates are likely to increase in the future if such a person comes to rule. Automatically, even if the exchange rates are lower now, people will start investing in our Indian currency. Okay, automatically when exchange rate increases in the future, our the value of our exchange rate will increase, and it is like speculation only. Okay, it is like buying shares only. Okay, this type of what is it, speculation also will be there in the political scenario. So these are the factors which determine the exchange rates. When we learn this, factors which determine exchange rates, okay, with relationship to the trading between two or more countries, you can write 5 points. You can select any 5 topics, give all the side headings, write any 5 paragraphs. Okay, children, that is all for today's class. We shall just wind up with this. Okay, and for homework, I want you to write what is exchange rate, that is question number 21. What is determination of exchange rate, that is question number 41, 27, 41, that will be, yes, this is enough. Okay. 27 and 41 will be your homework for the day. Okay. Thank you, children. Have a good day. Bye.